Minasan, Okarinasai. Today I will cover 2 of the 4 Nijigasaki subunits. I figured since there's an even number, I could evenly split them into multiple videos. Also, the group has the most subunits in the whole franchise, so yeah, 2 videos seemed right to me. As all 4 in one video seemed too long, and having each for a separate video felt too short. When I did the Muse subunits, I covered them all together, and I covered them at the same time. So in a specific year, I mentioned all the songs that all 3 groups did, but this time I'm just going to do each unit individually. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. In March of 2019, 9 different combinations of girls were offered to be chosen from. As you can see here, and we know now that the 4th one down was chosen. But if you look down a little further, could you imagine a world where Setsuna and Karin were the duo? The vocal power would have been crazy. Even now with Coco, it still would have been amazing. In May, the unit compositions were revealed and fans were asked to submit names for them. A couple weeks later, the choices for the unit names were shown, then in June, the chosen unit names were revealed. We're going to start with my personal favorite, that being Diva, a 2-lady group consisting of Kara Nasaka, played by Miyu Kubota, and Ai Miyashita, played by Natsumi Murakami, having the silver color for their unit. Because of the image presented by the members, most of the unit submissions had meanings giving off mature vibes, and many submissions also had puns, which is a reference to Ai's love of making puns. Diver comes from Odaiba, the town in which Nijigasaki High School is located, but also to represent the 2 members diving into the hearts of their fans. And Diva, well, that's because they're both lady performers. Honestly, such a cool name. 2020 was their debut track Supernova and its coupling song Love Triangle. Later in the year was their song Power Spot, being coupled with the anime's Blu-ray. Then at Niji's second live, Diva made their live-action debut, having 2 songs on both days. And it was the same song both times, the debut song with its coupling track. 2021 was a similar situation, with their song Saika Saika being coupled with Volume 4 of the first season's Blu-ray. 2 months later was The Secret Night, their second single, with its coupling song Flying to the Sky. Then in September, Nijigasaki had their unit fan meet tour with Diva up first, and their show was called Big Bang. 2022 was season 2 of the anime, which focused on the subunits, giving us new tracks from each of them. Diva's new song was Eternal Light, the CD's release also coming with Koisuru Magic. A month later was Fashionista, coupling with the Blu-ray for season 2. Then like 3 months later was their 3rd single, Shadow Effect, along with the song Kiss the Sun. Awesome cover, awesome outfits. And weirdly enough, to this day, that is their most recent single. But they were at Niji's 4th live, having a song on day 1 and then 2 songs on day 2. Also at Niji's 5th live a few months later, which was 2 different weekends, 2 days each, where each subunit did 2 songs on all 4 days. So in 2023, the girls didn't have any new songs, but they did have their first solo show, being the 3rd unit to do so, titled Galactic Trip. Gal being all in capitals, as in gals. Very fun name and a very good pun. And now we have 2024, we have part 2 of Niji's 6th live, the Yokohama show, where they did a song on both days. Then just a few months ago, Diva was at the unit Koshien with all of the other LoveLive units. Absolutely killing it, by the way. Aside from LoveLive shows, Diva has actually been a guest elsewhere, at the XR Artist Superfest in 2022. Then along with all other Niji units, they were at the Bandai Namco Fest in the same year for day 2, along with the other group that I'll be covering. But first, onto some facts about these 2. They are the same age, but Miyu was born first. They're born in different months, from different prefectures, and are in different agencies. Miyu is the taller one, and basically the boyfriend to Natsumi, honestly the boyfriend to all of Nijigasaki. Keeping up with Miyu outside of LoveLive, she is in a very popular pop group known as Iris, and Natsumi is actually in a duo Seiyuu unit called Natcherry with Chiemi, who I'll be talking about just a little later. A little before that though, here are all the submitted names that this unit could have been called. I do like Beatcats, and Eileen is a fun pun, and the rest are fine I guess, but like I said earlier, Diva is the coolest group name in the whole franchise. And a really cool fact is that they're the only Nijigaku unit to have their name submitted by a Japanese fan, meaning all of the other group names come from foreigners. And now for some lore. The unit was formed when I had the idea of her and Karin competing together on stage so they can bring out more power within each other. Ai-chan is a very friendly and sociable person who is always willing to help. She is also very caring, especially with her family and friends. Though because she is a gyaru, she can be mistaken as a type of person to skip school or be rebellious. However, she has very good grades and is a very good person. She can be a bit loud, but never in an obnoxious way, more like a very cheerful way. She uses a lot of slang and even more puns that others may not find funny, but she always laughs at the bad ones. Ai-chan is the first blonde school idol in the franchise who is fully Japanese, as Ellie and Mari are both half. She also has a fear of thunder and covers up her belly button during thunderstorms because of her grandmother telling her about the old folklore where the god Raijin takes away and eats belly buttons during a storm. Japan is so silly. And lastly for her, in the game it was revealed that her parents run a restaurant. Karin is the older and taller one, and is very mature and gives off a very seductive vibe, though in the anime I feel they didn't really show this off that well. She wanted to become a school idol to boost her self-confidence, and she said that she does not like crowds and is usually seen eating alone. Her strength is dancing, taking the role of choreographer within the club. Outside of school, she works as a model for magazines, and she actually enrolled in a design course at Nijigasaki Academy. Though her favorite classes are science and cooking, she also dislikes geography, and it was revealed in the mobile game that she actually has really bad grades. But Karin can play the saxophone, and in the dorms, she shares a room with Emma. So that's it for these two. In my personal opinion, this unit is a great gateway into all of Niji and maybe even the whole franchise. If you're trying to introduce someone to LoveLive, definitely throw some Diva songs into that playlist. Well, honestly, the smart thing to do would be to show a song or two from every group and see what the person ends up liking. But anyway, the next group is Quartz, the only unit in the franchise with 4 members. Those being Emma Verde, played by Maria Sashide, Kasumi Nakasu, portrayed by Mayu Sagara, Kanata Konoe, played by Akari Kito, and Rina Tenoji, portrayed by Chiami Tanaka, with their unit color being milk tea, which is like a brown milk tea color. Due to the image presented by the members, many of the name submissions had meanings that emphasizes the members' very different yet complementary personalities, and their cute and pure image as well. Quartz is actually a type of real-life crystal, so the name Quartz is meant to represent the glamour presented by the unit, and the 4 in the name instead of the letter A comes from the number of members. Oh, also Quart, as in a play on quartet, because again, 4 members. So in February of 2020, they released their first single, Sing and Smile, along with Beautiful Moonlight, a personal favorite of mine. Also, like with Diva at Niji's second full live in September, Quartz made their live-action debut, having 2 songs on both days. In 2021, their song Makeup Session ABC was included with a 3rd volume for the Blu-ray of the anime. A few months later, in Volume 6 of the anime, their track Twinkletown, which is very Christmas-like. Then in the summer, they had Swinging, their 2nd single, with its coupling track, Not Sad. When Niji had their subunit fan meet tour, Quartz was up 2nd in October with their show Sweet Cafe. 2022 was season 2 of their anime, where Quartz debuted the song Enjoy It. When it got released, its coupling track was 4 seasons. Then when the anime came out on Blu-ray, Volume 4 of it included their song Fua Fua Hour. Over at Niji's 4th live, Quartz did 1 song on day 1 and then 2 songs on day 2. And at Niji's 5th, Quartz did 2 songs on all 4 days. Last year of 2023 was their most recent song Pastel, coupled with Michi no Saki, and when all Niji subunits got their first full solo shows, Quartz was up last in March with their show Fluffy Magic. At the end of 2023 and the beginning of 2024 was Niji's 6th live, where Quartz performed a song on both days for the Aichi show, which was the first one in 2023. And for this year, along with all the other units in the whole franchise, Quartz performed at the Unit Koshien live, though Akari wasn't there at all and Mayu was only on day 2. So Quartz was like duarts for a day and then triarts for the next. As for other festivals outside of LoveLive, as I said earlier, day 2 of Bandai Fest in 2022. And I think that's the only event that they've ever been at. So onto some facts about the girls. Chiemi and Akari are the older 2. They are the same age, born in the same month, though Chiemi is 10 days older. Then Maria is the youngest, but also the tallest. And funny enough, Akari along with Chiemi again are the shortest at the same height, though Mayu is only 1 centimeter taller than them. As for prefectures and agencies, none of the 4 share anything here. However, outside of LoveLive, both Akari and Maria are in a Seiyuu unit known as Wataten 5, tied to the Wataten anime. They are both in Uma Musume Pretty Derby as well. Mayu is part of a group called Smile Princess, tied to the ice hockey franchise Pride of Orange, but also a Seiyuu unit known as Prima Porta with some other Niji girls, one from each of the other 2 groups that are not in this video. Then Chiemi is a Natsuri with Natsumi, as I said earlier. Quartz is one of the units whose names is submitted by someone outside of Japan, not sure where they're from though. These are all of the submitted names for the unit, and the only one that really stands out to me is Cupid's. And honestly only because it's spelled in a really fun way. But Quartz really is the perfect name for them, as I explained earlier, with it being a play on quartet and having a 4 in the name, it fits perfectly. Could you imagine if they were called Flap and Fluffy? No disrespect to whoever submitted that, but yeah. Ugh. In lore, Quartz formed after Diva, and the unit was assembled by Emma, with the objective of being able to show the awesomeness that school idols can express without having to compete with each other. Basically the complete opposite of Diva. Originally, Kasumi wanted the unit name to be the Fluffy Kasumin Club, but there was also Kasumin Cutie and Cutie Kya Sumin, but these were very quickly rejected by everyone else. As for the girls themselves, Kanata is the eldest, Kasumi is the youngest, Rina is the shortest, and Emma is the tallest. Funny how that works out. Kanata is known as the group's sleeping beauty, as she is always taking naps or just waking up from one. She even carries a pillow around with her at school. She also has this ability to calm anyone within her presence. She used to attend a different school with her younger sister, who is also an idol. She is skilled at cooking and is the best cook within the whole group. She is also a member of the health committee and works part-time as a grocery store clerk. Emma is the first fully foreign character, being from Switzerland, and her last name is Italian and even uses Italian words in her speech. She also has a family with 8 younger siblings. She left her home to attend a Japanese school and become an idol, being a very kind and easygoing girl with a healing nature, very cheerful and pleasant, probably the nicest person in the franchise. In her free time, Emma enjoys going on outdoor expeditions that include woodland walks and playing in the river, often packing a lunch with her and spending around 7 hours being surrounded by nature. She enjoys quilting as well and has a pet goat named Neve, which is also Italian. And as I said earlier, she shares a dorm with Karin. Oh, also, I guess, in lore, out of all the characters, she has the largest breasts. Pretty sure her Seiyuu's got the largest in the group, too. Anyway, Rina is not good at conveying emotions on her face, so she uses her Rina-chan board, a sketchbook that she draws her emotions on, and while performing, she wears a sort of helmet that also has animated emotions, which she made herself. She is very good with technology and is often seen with gadgets or just working on a tablet or a laptop. She excels in both science and math, but struggles with her Japanese classes. She is also really good at arcade and home video games. She also seems to have a deep fondness for animals. Lastly for her, Rina is the shortest out of all the LoveLive main characters at 149 centimeters or 4'11", which is pretty short, but in real life the franchise has 3 performers who are even smaller than that, one even in Nijigasaki, though not in either of these units. Last up, Kasumi has always dreamed of becoming an idol and is very much the idol within not only her unit but the whole group, and honestly maybe even the whole franchise aside from Yuzu's Nico. After the original school idol club disbanded, Kasumi declared herself the president as she was the only member left. And after the reformation, she is still the president. She can come across as self-centered and mischievous, but she is very kind, friendly, and a lively girl who loves all things that are cute. Her favorite school subjects are science and home economics, but she dislikes classical literature and history. And finally, her teammates and fans have given her the nickname Kaskas, which she does not like at all. So instead, she always suggests her own nicknames or just asking people to call her by either her full name or Kasumin. As for her addressing other people, she usually adds ko to the ending parts of their name, or replacing the ending, like Shizuku becoming Shizuko and Shiroriko becoming Shioko. And well, that's the ending for this one. Not really going to give any closing thoughts since I kind of put my thoughts into the main video already. So thank you so much for watching. As always, I hope you've enjoyed and learned something new. If you did, please do leave a like, and please do join me in the next video about the other 2 units within the group. I look forward to seeing you there.